This episode of the Fiction Writers Podcast is brought to you by the Novel Notebook. With each character and each setting, hundreds of details must be compiled and organized. Far too many for a writer, like you, to keep them cataloged in your brain. The Novel Notebook provides the answer. Visit www.fictionwriterspodcast.com/novel and quickly discover how to organize your materials and take your novel to the next level. Welcome to the Fiction Writers Podcast with Lana McAra, where you will discover tips, tricks, and ideas for fiction that is #unputdownable. Here you'll find new energy, new perspectives, new resources, and new ideas that will spark your creativity into a blaze of brilliance. It's easier than you think. Be sure you visit our website at www.fictionwriterspodcast.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, get out your notebook, tune in, and let's get started.
Have you ever wondered how the big name writers get to where they are? Well, we're going to talk about that today. My name is Lana McAra, and welcome to the Fiction Writers Podcast. Tips, tricks, and ideas for fiction that is #unputdownable. We were in a writing lab recently in my writer's course, and one of the students said, I want a traditional publisher because I don't want to have to do marketing. I want the publisher to do the marketing. Well, it was really hard for me to inform her, because I felt the disappointment, that publishers don't market. Well, it doesn't matter if you are self-published, hybrid published, or traditionally published. Your publisher is not going to market. The marketing aspect of your book is 100% on your shoulders. That's right. It's up to you. And that's why when you apply and send a proposal into a publisher, they're going to want a marketing plan. They want to see what you're going to do to get your book out there. Over the years, I had to get used to this. First of all, it felt really gnarly to me to promote myself and tell how good my book was and get out there as a speaker and talk about what I was doing. And that felt really uncomfortable to me. I wasn't used to talking about myself in those ways. It sounded kind of pompous and conceited to me to say, oh, my book is great, because I'm basically a shy person. You might not believe it now, but that's the truth. So I had to get over that. Because if you don't talk about your book, nobody is going to know about it. It's up to you. And then as I went forward in my career, I started to realize that there was expenses. There's expenses to this. I had to buy postcards. Back in the day, I was mailing postcards, and that's not such a bad idea. Mailing postcards is a good idea, even today. You have to buy the postcards, get the stamps and the postage and so forth. Then you are putting up websites, and I ended up having to hire a virtual assistant. I just had too much on me to do it all myself. And then the other expenses that go with being an author, submitting your book to contests and going to conferences and buying a table at a conference. So all these things that cost money. And when it came tax time, I was faced with a reality that I had not thought about before. And that is, I had business expenses. And if I had business expenses that were tax deductible, I was in business. And there is the secret. There's the harsh, ugly secret that most successful writers don't talk about. We love our art, but we are also in business. And at the end of the day, certain activities that you do are profitable. Other activities are not profitable. And so let's say I go to a book festival, and it costs me money to buy the banner, to get the tablecloth and the other display items, and Then I might go to the printer and have something printed to hand out, bookmarks and other things, business cards. And then the cost of driving there. If you have to stay overnight, there's hotels and food. The work involved. I mean, my time is worth something, isn't it? Should be. So these are the expenses. And so then when the event is over, you sit down with you count your merchandise, your inventory, you figure out how much money you brought in that day, and then you subtract the expenses. Was this event a profitable venture or not? Well, if you go only by the money, you're only looking at one aspect, but you do need to look at the money. You absolutely do. If you end up losing, then you need to examine something besides the money, in addition to the money, to see if that event was worth it or not. Did you make some really good connections? Did you get some speaking engagements or some opportunities that you wouldn't have known about otherwise? What are those worth? Are you offering anything besides the book for sale? I have a course. Was there anybody who was interested in the course? Did I get to look that, to talk that up? So what were the other secondary opportunities that came to you as a result of this event? That's also noteworthy. Did you get a speaking engagement at the event for next year? You have to think about the entire package of it. But at the same time, when you go into the event, you don't sit with your hands folded behind the table waiting for people to stop. You are proactively coming out from behind the table, talking to people in a friendly way, engaging them, finding out what they like, talking to the event administrators, the event planners, the administration of it, and finding out what it takes to become a speaker and talking to them about your experience and so forth. You have to work it. You have to work the room while you're there. I used to be in business development for the County Women's Journal, and that taught me about working a room. So I look at a room as a place full of opportunities, and that those people in there, whether it's a book event or some other type of event, those people all have connections and memberships and things that they are engaged in, and each one could be an open door to something beyond what you have ever even dreamed of. So go at it with that in mind. Now, if you get there and you find out the crowd just isn't your crowd, the people there are not friendly, you go to try to talk to some other people who have tables as well, and they don't want to talk to you. If it's that kind of a thing, that kind of an event, then I would mark that off. That's not worth it. You didn't make any new contacts. You didn't get any other opportunities. You might have sold a few books, but was it worth it? Was it worth it? And along with that comes a marketing budget. Every business has a marketing budget. What's your marketing budget? I have a budget for running my podcast. I have a budget for a virtual assistant who posts for me on social media. Those are monthly bills that I pay every month. What is your business budget? Your marketing budget? And when you shift your consciousness and shift your mindset to begin thinking about your book writing endeavor as a business, you're going to come at it in different ways. You're going to think about it in different ways. Instead of writing one book or one series, you'll begin to see the advantages of having a body of work, multiple books coming out regularly, so that you begin to develop a prestige in the arena, whatever the field is that you're writing for, whatever the genre, whatever the topic, you will become known there. And so you are in business, if you are a serious author, it's okay to write fiction and just share it among family and friends. That is totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to have a bio that is impressive, then it is consistency over time, month by month, year by year, and yes, decade by decade. This becomes a marketing lifestyle, a promotion lifestyle, a business lifestyle. And you don't have to be salesy and you don't have to be smarmy. You can do it in a heartfelt, wonderful, connecting way because you love your books. They're part of who you are. And so is getting out there and talking about it. I hope that helps you today. My name is Lana McAra. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning into the Fiction Writers Podcast with Lana McAra, where we share tips, tricks, and ideas for fiction that is #unputdownable. Remember to visit our website at www.fictionwriterspodcast.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Fiction Writers Podcast.